Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hop. It's a very special beer review today, joined by
the Jarl of Yeast,
aka my father. And this is a very special review because this is a beer that I have saved to celebrate fatherhood. Because I'm a father as well now, like my father is. Mm-hmm. And I thought for the occasion we should drink something really special. So now it's been 9 months. And we finally got to do it. But we're cracking something really special. So I got this on Beer Dome, which is insane. This beer was sold in Europe. So thanks a ton to Beer Dome for this beer. The fact that this is getting distribution in Europe in small quantities is just pure insanity. But this is none other than the limited version of BBT, the Peppy Van Winkle BBT from Side Project from 2023. It's a 14% Imperial Stout, exclusively aged in 10-year-old Peppy Van Winkle bourbon barrels. Apparently, back in 2020, Side Project was very lucky to get a hold of, I think they said 20 10-year-old Peppy Van Winkle barrels. And Peppy Van Winkle is one of the rarest bourbons in the States. Very exclusive stuff. And they filled those barrels with numerous recipes. And they used these barrels in some different blends. Some went into the 22 beer barrel time, some went into OWK 23, and some went into 8 candles. And the heart of that blend then, the best barrels, they picked to release as a single thread beer, which is BBT. So BBT is without adjuncts, anything, it's just barrel and time, as the name states. And the regular version is usually a blend of different recipes aged in different type of whiskey barrels. But to showcase the Peppy Van Winkle barrels, they chose to go with the OWK recipe and just release that as a single barrel beer. So I reviewed the 2019 beer barrel time, and it's the best Imperial Stout I've ever had. So a little bit of hype. And they also do a rye version, which is aged in rye whiskey barrels. That's also phenomenal. But this one, most people say is insane. And on the rating side, Untapped, usually most big stouts from Europe, they will have an average out of 5, maybe 4.3, 4.2. This has 4.8 out of 5. So I think it will be good. I hope so.
Exciting.
And you love big barrel aged stouts.
Yes, I like it very much.
And last year, I shared some hype stouts with you in the summer house.
Yeah.
Was it last year, I think? We tried Blessed from Anchorage, the one with coconut, which was really good. But we actually also tried a collab between Side Project and Omnipolo, the Billionaire's Hot Chocolate, the European version. Dad also loved that. But it'll be really fun to share a beer like this with you because this is a treat. Yes. This is not something you get to drink every day. So, yeah, should we check it out, see what it looks like? What do you think?
That's tar black.
Yeah, that's like engine oil. Could be oil from the new Thunderbird you went to look at.
Yeah, it's old engine oil.
Yeah. And you can see, just look at the glass. It gets brown from the liquid.
Yes.
Indicating
it sticks on the side of the glass too.
Yeah, indicating it's a rich beer and no head at all. There's just like a slight color here on the side.
Yeah, a little.
But that's usually the case with these beers, the big beers from Side Project. They don't have a lot of head retention. So, yeah. Do you want to check out the aroma?
Yeah, we check it.
Let's do it. Oh, that's a lot of whiskey.
Yeah. And all those...
Wow, that smells.
All those dark fruit.
Yeah, leather and tobacco, and like raisins, but there's also loads of chocolate.
Yes, but the bourbon.
Yeah, the bourbon is really forward. Yeah. I mean, that's usually what pops and shines with BBT is this really decadent and rich bourbon whiskey character, and that's also the case with regular BBT. This is similar to some extent to regular BBT. It's maybe a little bit more bright in its profile. Like there's a lot of that like candy, caramelly, vanilla, coconutty bourbon, but also still some depth and barrel char, but maybe not as much as in like the rye. And I think that's because the barrels here are pretty much only 10 years. All right, pretty much it is only 10-year barrels. In the beer barrel times, they sometimes also use like 23-year-old or 18-year-old bourbon whiskey.
And you feel the
Alcohol.
alcohol.
Yeah. But it smells like it's such a rich and complex beer. And so many rich, layered aromatics on this. It's making my saliva go a little bit all over the mouth. Do you want to taste it?
Definitely.
Yes, let's do it. Cheers. And also happy Easter.
Yeah, happy Easter. And congratulations with the twins.
And congratulations on being a grandfather.
Yeah.
Cheers. Wow. There is so much bourbon flavor on that. Are you kidding me? This really makes me want to try the bourbon whiskey that they use the barrels from.
It fills so much in the mouth. So
It's
much.
so rich.
Yeah.
And so much rich, like chocolate.
Yep.
Brownie batter, but also like really dark chocolate, which I love, like some bitter dark chocolate.
What is it called? Plums? Hello. Svisker.
Prunes?
Plums, yeah.
Yeah. Almost like chocolate covered.
Yeah.
Or something. Or chocolate covered dark cherries.
Yes.
But it's so rich and decadent, and there's so much going on. And you can feel it's really thick as well.
Yeah, I was to say you need to chew it.
Yeah. But what's really interesting, there's so much spirit character to it that it helps balance it out, so it's not like too sweet or thick.
No,
Because there's some modern beers, they're so thick that I think it's starting to get too much. This is like really thick, but it's not too much. Because there's so much barrel heat and everything that cuts everything. I mean, this is an insane glass of beer.
Fantastic.
There is so much bourbon flavor, and it's I said on the aroma it was more caramel toffee, but there's definitely also a lot of depth on the flavor. There's like all that leather and like tobacco and also like char. Also, one thing I love about BBT is that there's taste of roasted malt. And some modern stout, they don't taste like roasted malt anymore because they put in only like chocolate malts and stuff. So it's like really chocolatey, but you don't have that burnt, roasty, bitter edge. And I think that's essential when you're making an Imperial stout. Yeah. Supercharged, kind of like BBT or something like that. Like this is, I have a very special bottle of BBT, a Bourbon County, the green box up there. Bourbon County Rare. That was my first experience with Pappy Van Winkle barrels in a beer. And that beer was back in the day, Jacob and I reviewed it, and we were just going nuts. And this is taking that beer to a higher level. And if you thought that back then, it's like, that can't happen. But it can. Because this is just like, it's much more of a rich beer than something like Bourbon County. Bourbon County is still really good, but this is just, it's more of a modern barrel-aged beer.
We tasted an old school, what was it called? Numskull.
Oh yeah.
That was not a stout, but
It was a barley wine, yeah.
Yeah, barley wine, but
That's quite a few years ago.
yes, but that was insane. But this one is the same class.
Yeah. I mean, it's also one of those, I think also, that was maybe one of the first times we shared like a big barrel-aged beer together. And I remember how much you loved that beer. You really, and it's a beer that's imprinted into Dad's memory now. Like he will always remember Old Numskull. So that's like, it's funny because often when we talk about these barrel-aged beers when we drink them, that's your reference. You're like, and like it's like the experience like Old Numskull. Because when we drank that, we were also just like, and this is the same.
Yeah.
Like it's that like mind-blowing experience where you're just sitting and thinking like, this must take so much effort and like skill to just like do this, because this I think is perfection in terms of barrel aging.
Yeah.
This is the kind of beer I wish I would produce. So many rich, decadent layers, and the fact that they get, I think, equal amounts of complexity out of one type of barrel without blending, which they do in normal beer barrel time, is really impressive.
You can't stop thinking how much rare material you have to use just to make a little bottle of it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of malt that goes into making these.
Yeah. I'll say the raisins and the coffee and the vanilla and perhaps a little sweetness from the alcohol.
Yeah. And I think also some base beer sweetness. Because the beers that they make that go into these barrels have a high residual sweetness. Although you don't really, it doesn't feel too sweet at any moment. And I think that's also because of the barrels. And maybe also alcohol to some extent that helps cut some of it. Although alcohol has some sweetness to it.
Yeah.
But this is fucking insane beer. Hats off to Side Project for just making some of the craziest barrel-aged beers in the world. I fucking love this. And you know what? I have another bottle. And I'm really happy that I have another bottle of this. I even also have a bottle of the 22 BBT, which has a little bit of this in it. And I also have a bottle of... I have a few beers from this brewery that is, really awesome. Maybe I'll share some of them with you.
You just call me.
Yeah. But for me, this is an easy 100. At first smell and first sip, I already knew what territory this was going to be at. I can't put a finger on anything I would change about this beer.
No.
At least for me.
No, it's fantastic.
What do you think?
Well, as I said, one of the best I've ever tasted in the dark side of beers. Mm-hmm.
So what number? Would you put 100? Would you put 99?
I've always said I can't give 100 because there's always something that's just this little bit better. But 99.
Yeah. That is fucking brilliant beer. I love it. So yeah, awesome to share this with you and have this experience together because we both love big barrel-aged stouts or barrel-aged dark beers or dark beers.
Yeah.
So it was optimal that Dad and I shared this. So yeah, amazing. Thanks a ton to Beardome for BBT at Peppy and Winkle. This was such a treat. We're going to sip on this on the side now. My brother-in-law also got some. He also likes stouts, but I don't think he's ever had anything that's this decadent. So we'll see what he thinks of it. When he talked about stouts, he talks about Speedway Stout. This is a lot thicker than that beer.
Yeah.
But wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So yeah, if you guys had a chance to try the BBT Peppy and Winkle from 23, let us know what you thought of it. Wonderful, wonderful beer. I would say a must try if you're into big barrel-aged stouts because it's some of the best you're going to get. I think it's better than BBT Rye from 22 and potentially also better than BBT from 22. I don't know about 2019 BBT if it's better, but the thing is that was the first time I had a beer of this caliber from this brewery. So that experience is a little bit hard to compare. I'd had to have the bottle side by side to say it 100%. So, but yeah, crazy stuff. So if you had it, let us know. And as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And we're going to say cheers to fatherhood.
Yeah.
And Easter.
And Easter.
And see you guys in another
beer review.
Cheers.
Cheers.